Hey guys, how you doing? Josh here from J Media. Welcome to my office. This is where I work usually when it comes down to editing. I wanted to make a video about what kind of cameras you guys should be looking at since it's towards the end of the year and 2015 is approaching. I got a few emails about what kind of gear people should get, and I already have a similar video to this, but this is going to be slightly different because I already bought a whole bunch of new gear and I'm going to tell you guys about it. First, I want to start off by talking about what 2015 is going to bring to us and what we're supposed to expect. We're going to expect a whole bunch of new 4K cameras. Okay, Panasonic already came out with the GH4. That's currently the camera that I'm using right now. That's what's filming me. Sony came out with the Sony A7S. That's this camera. Beautiful in low light. I don't have the E-mount adapter for Canon lenses for it yet, so when I do get it, which should be in a few days, I'm going to make sure that I show you guys how this camera works and give you a full-on tutorial about this camera and how it compares to the GH4. Isn't that cliche? If you go on YouTube, they're only comparing the GH4 and the Sony A7S together. So in this video, I'm going to cover both of those cameras. I just got this camera 2 days ago. The adapter didn't arrive in the mail yet, so I'm still awaiting that. But update, I sold my Canon XF305, the big video camera. So that's already obsolete, futile. No one should even use those kinds of cameras if you're using it for music videos and stuff like that. Even documentaries, the GH4 will pull it off with its autofocus and beautiful 4K images. So in 2015, it's rumored that Canon is going to come out with a 5D Mark IV. Will it have 4K? I don't know. But I would not wait for Canon, because if Canon was going to really progress in the DSLR video world, they would have already come out with a DSLR that would compete with Sony's A7S and Panasonic's GH4. But unfortunately, they didn't do it this year, which means Canon is lagging a little bit, unless they plan to kick everybody's ass in 2015. So why DSLRs? Digital single lens reflex cameras, or mirrorless cameras. Mirrorless cameras, that's actually the cameras that I own now. I still have my 5D Mark II. It has a mirror, so this is a DSLR. The other cameras I have are mirrorless, so they're SLRs, single lens reflex. The biggest question I get through emails is, what is the benefit of mirrorless and what is the benefit of having a mirror? Well, for one thing, when it comes down to pictures, I'm not a photographer, I'm a videographer. When it comes down to photography, you only see professional photographers using either 5Ds or Nikons that have a mirror camera. Why? Because focus is faster with mirror cameras. If you take a picture with a mirrorless camera, it's less likely to focus as quick as a camera with a mirror. And that all has to do with the direction of light and how quickly it's hitting the sensor. So, mirrorless, they're not as good when it comes to focusing as fast as mirror cameras like the 5D, but they're getting close. And once they get that technology, there will not be any more DSLRs. They're going to be off the market. Now, why did I buy the GH4 and why did I buy the Sony A7S? Let's talk about the GH4 first. One of the big things that I love about the GH4 is how tiny it is and how light it is. Why do I like a tiny compact camera? Well, I love using Steadicams, and the 5D is such a pain. It's literally like a brick. So when I put it on a Steadicam, it takes forever to, well, not forever to balance, but it takes a whole toll on my arms, and I'm getting tired of it. But the GH4 is so light. It's like a toy compared to the 5D, but the images are so much better. And the autofocus feature, I mean, wow. That's something a real video camera has, and that's the GH4. The next huge thing, which probably should be first on the list, is that it can shoot 4K. 4K for a camera that costs $1,500 and shoots real cinema 4K. Guys, give me a break. This is unbelievable. Panasonic, I thought they were, I never thought I would buy a Panasonic. And look at me now. I'm shooting on a Panasonic. I never really liked Panasonic, to be honest, but this camera proved me wrong, and I'm going to be faithful to Panasonic now. So the GH4 is absolutely beautiful. You shoot everything in 4K, then you downscale it to 1080p and upload it to YouTube, and the pictures are phenomenal. I don't recommend shooting on the GH4 using 1080p because you're going to get some moire and maybe aliasing. So if it's a 4K camera, shoot it in 4K because that's the native resolution, and you're going to get beautiful images, especially when you go down and down-res it to 1080p, because then you have the option of cropping in without losing any resolution. One thing about the GH4 that is not so great is obviously its small sensor size, the micro four thirds. Compared to the Sony A7S, which has a full 35mm frame sensor, it does not compete in low light situations. You can actually fit 4 GH4 sensors on the Sony's A7S sensor. Go on Google Images and type in Sony A7S sensor and GH4 sensor. Huge difference, 4 times the size. The A7S, unfortunately, I was hoping that my adapter would have arrived with the camera, but it didn't. This adapter is going to allow me to use Canon lenses with the Sony camera. It might affect the focusing a little bit because it's not the original lens that goes with the camera, but anyway, if I had the adapter, I would be shooting on the Sony A7S instead of the GH4 because I haven't shot with the A7S yet, but I did take it to a few camera stores to test out some lenses. There's not a few lenses out for the Sony A7S, which is why I bought the adapter, so I have a lot more variety. Canon has a ton of lenses, so I really like the glass from Canon. Currently, I only have one lens for the GH4 because I bought the Sony A7S specifically for Steadicam work because it's full frame, and that way I can use my Rokinon 14mm without any crop issues. I'm replacing my 5D with the Sony A7S, and I'm going to be selling my 5D Mark II. If I don't sell it, I'll keep it and use it as a photo camera. So, because the 5D out of the GH4 and the Sony A7S, this thing blows those two cameras out of the water with its photography features. You can't beat 21 megapixels. Sony shoots 12 megapixel images, and the Lumix, the Panasonic, shoots 16. But by the way, this Panasonic shoots unbelievable photos. I mean, beautiful, beautiful photos. 16 megs, but you shouldn't even be looking at those numbers. Just look at the image quality. But the 5D gives you really high-res images. Again, gives you that massive crop ability, where the Sony doesn't. Sony also gives you beautiful images, but it doesn't give you the ability to crop in. So when it comes to a larger sensor, why? This is the biggest question people ask, is if Sony's making such an expensive camera with a full frame sensor, why is it only 12 megapixels? Here's the common thing here. People think that with photo cameras, the more megapixels, the better. Correct? Megapixels, it comes down to resolution, crop, all that stuff. You have to really look at the science behind pixels. Pixels, these things are what, inside pixels we have photosites. These photosites absorb light. They are on the sensor, they absorb light, go to the processor of the camera. The processor transforms the light into electronic signals, and it gets converted into video. So that's basically how a sensor works. Now, why do different cameras have different megapixels? The 5D has 21 megapixels, mainly because it was meant to be a photo camera, not a video camera. Video is just an added feature Canon threw on there. They didn't expect it to go crazy beyond belief with how many times it's used in film and stuff like that. But 21 megapixels for photo, beautiful, sharp. 21 megapixels for Canon 5D, beautiful images, lets you crop in, beautiful res, blow them up. But the reason why the Sony has only 12 megapixels is because when you're talking about a video camera and you're talking about pixels, you actually flip it. Because when video cameras are being talked about, you have to understand that video cameras need to absorb as much light as possible, especially in low light. And when it comes down to the Sony a7S, and the S stands for sensitivity, they thought about long and hard. What if we make the pixels larger so they can absorb more light? But if the pixels are going to be larger, then less of them will be able to be fitted on the sensor. So the larger the pixels, larger the photo sites, more light is absorbed. So that is why the Sony a7S only has 12 megapixels, because that's all they could have fit on the sensor, at least for this price range. But this camera, from all the review videos I've seen, shoots better in low light than the Red Epic, because the Red Epic doesn't have a full frame sensor. And I shot on the Scarlet a few times, not the Epic, so I can't really, you know, when it comes down to frame rate, I know the Epic does a lot higher frame rates and stuff like that, so I don't have an Epic. I don't own an Epic. Will I ever own an Epic? No, I don't need to. I will never touch a Red camera for my own business, because no one's going to bring a Red camera to a wedding. That's a little ridiculous. If you're shooting a short, if you're shooting a feature, yes, use a Red Epic. But when it comes down to run and gun, wedding stuff, party stuff, DSLRs, man. It's all about DSLRs. So I recommend the GH4, the Panasonic GH4, and the Sony a7S. Now the next big question is, what if I only want to buy one of them? What do I recommend? If you're going to buy one of them, buy the GH4 first. And if you really like what you see, either buy another GH4 for a second. I think every videographer has to have at least two cameras. Two angles are always important, so at least two cameras, you're good. But for right now, if you can only afford one camera, go with the GH4 first, because of its internal recording of the 4K res. Unfortunately, the Sony requires an external recorder for 4K, and it's bulky, it's expensive, and it doesn't make shooting any easier. So that's why I go with the GH4 first, because it has all the 4K beautifulness inside a tiny little box. And the images are just spectacular when it comes down to the Panasonic GH4. I'd buy that first. But I specifically bought the a7S whenever I see low light problems. If there's really, really low light situations and I can't use a bright light, boom, I'm going to pull out the a7S without any question and leave the GH4 alone. So mainly if I were to shoot a wedding, I would put up the GH4 in a tripod and use that as my main camera, hooked up with the mic and the sound and everything, and then I take the a7S, put it on Steadicam, use the 14mm and get beautiful scenic shots as B-roll. So yeah, the GH4 will be my new main camera. It's going to be the camera I really rely on to get all my shots. The a7S, yes, it's $500 more, or no, it's actually $800 more. Yeah, the Sony a7S is $800 more, so that's going to be my B camera, and the GH4 is going to be my A camera. So it must feel very, very lucky. When it comes down to image quality between the two cameras, the a7S and the GH4, they're close. They're very close. Obviously in low light, the GH4 doesn't do too well. I wouldn't go above 1600. Even with 1600, I can see some noise. But even compared to the Mark II, if you go above 800, you're going to be in some really bad noise areas. So you're going to pick up some really bad noise if you go above 800, in my opinion. The GH4 is slightly better than the 5D Mark II in low light, even with the smaller sensor because of the new technology they came out with. Remember, smaller, bigger pixels, absorb more light. But the GH4 surprisingly does well for low light, guys. Surprisingly, for low light with a micro four thirds sensor. Very well. Even when I had my Canon XF305, I compared the GH4 to that camera, and the GH4 was completely way better in low light than that camera. And I was like, why do I have this big camera if I can't use it in low light? I'll sell it. So the GH4, beautiful camera. It does decent in low light. Not terrible, does decent. You will get some noise above 1600, or 1600 you'll start seeing noise. So get a plug-in that is a noise reduction, your editing software, and take out that noise as best as you can. That's your first option. Also use a fast lens, a 1.2, a 0.9. Those are expensive, but it should help you out with those low light problems. With the A7S, you can use the crappiest lens. You can use an f4, f6, f8, whatever lens you want. Doesn't matter how closed off the lens is with its aperture. The Sony A7S will compensate with its amazing sensor. So I don't care what lens I put on the A7S. I know that it's always going to give me enough light. So I'm not worried about lenses with the A7S. But I do have some awesome lenses for that, especially my Rokinon 14mm. I love that lens. Look it up on eBay. It's beautiful, especially with Steadicam stuff. Check out my videos. I use it in there too. So I just wanted to make this update video about the gear that I have. I bought a new microphone. I sold my Rode NTG1. Why did I sell it? Well, because I can't hook it up to my cameras, because I don't have phantom power anymore. These cameras don't come with phantom power. So I bought the Rode NTG2, which has a built-in area where you can put in a AA battery, and that powers the mic. So that's what I'm using right now. And yeah, if you want to use a mic, get a Rode, man. Get a Rode for these cameras. Stereo Video Mic Pro, which is right here. Beautiful mic. I put on my Steadicam all the time. And with interviews and stuff like that, if you're not going to use a lavalier, use a Rode NTG2. The NTG2 is a beautiful mic, and I'm going to keep it for a long time. 10-year warranty. Hell yeah. So, just a quick update, guys. If the science doesn't make sense, email me. You know, I kind of stumbled upon the science because I have so many things going on in my head currently. But yeah, email me, and I'll clarify it with you. Recently, by the way, guys, since I live in the Los Angeles area, I've been having a lot of people contacting me about giving them private Steadicam tutorials or lessons. And I was thinking, if a lot of people are interested and they live in the Los Angeles area, what if I hold a Steadicam workshop? So if you guys are interested in a Steadicam workshop and you live in the Los Angeles area, or if you're willing to drive out and participate in the workshop, I'll have it. I'll have it if I get enough people. You know, if I get maybe 25, 30 people who are interested in having a Steadicam workshop, let's do it. I would love to show you guys how to use a Steadicam in person. So yeah, guys, keep updating me. I love to hear your stories. I love to see what kind of gear you guys are buying. Remember, we're all here as a community. We want to help each other become successful, and that's what I'm here to do. I want to help you guys. I found my passion, and it's not only videography, but it's to help other people, and I really want to help you guys out. So if you have any questions, email me. Don't hesitate. Comment. You get a faster response if you email me, because then I have to look for your comment and all that. But comment, I'll try to respond as quickly as I can, but email me also, and check out my website at joshmorganmedia.com. Get out there and start filming, guys, and let me know if you are interested in the Steadicam workshop. So in conclusion, buy the GH4 first before picking up the A7S, because you're going to be happier with the picture quality, the 4K, and the battery life. I didn't talk about that. 4-hour battery life on the Panasonic compared to only about an hour, hour and a half battery life on the Sony. So that's another reason why the Panasonic is my main camera. Sorry if I rambled off too much. I'm so excited about getting the adapters and really starting to, I'm going to start filming a lot more. I have a few new projects coming up in the next couple months. I'm flying to New York. We're going to be shooting music videos for rappers, and I can't wait to show you what these cameras are really capable of doing. And yeah, keep me updated, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.